The garden is so full right now that I can barely see what's ready to harvest. Today, I'm searching through these crowded containers and beds to see what's been growing underneath it all. It almost feels like I'm reaching my goal of providing my family's produce needs from this driveway garden. But we are at the end of July, right in the middle of peak production season. The next few weeks should be bountiful, but they won't necessarily represent the average harvest across the entire growing season. So let's see what the garden has for us today. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's a Jimmy Nardello I just grabbed too soon there by accident. This is what it should look like, and that's beautiful. It's a nice sweet pepper. I'll keep the green one. I'll do something with it later. We have some jalapeños that turned red in here by accident because I didn't catch them in time. That's what happens when your jalapeños they'll turn red if you leave them on the vine long enough. And that's not wrong. If you like them red, that's fine. I think these are Anaheims. I'm gonna leave them be. Well, I'm gonna get in here and see what peppers I can find, but I'm also gonna trim back this squash so that it's not shading over these peppers and eggplants so that I can see them better and so that they can get better sun. These squash leaves sometimes can be prickly, so I'm gonna be wearing gloves for this. I'll find a place to put my foot that I'm not stepping on a plant. That's good enough for what I'm trying to do. Helps me see the squash that's forming too. So that's a good feature. Okay. Now we can get back here and see what's going on here. And these plants are big. These pepper plants back here have been loving this area, it looks like. Although this one, pepper has started to maybe too moist, maybe? Not sure. Or if that's its version of blossom end rot, maybe. Some big padrons back here. Yeah, that's a shishito there. Let me go to bare hands, it's easier. I just like bare hands better for a lot of harvesting. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna get them before they're red. think these are jalapeños here. They're just kind of elongated, but the jalapeños have these kind of glossy, more glossy looks to them. They're not wrinkled like the Shishitos or the padrons. Got another small one that turned red on the vine here. I think that's it for now. Maybe there's an eggplant here. There's another one over here. They're nice big plants with flowers on them, so maybe with the sun able to reach them there, eggplants go in there. This is my apple tree being trained as a columnar tree, and right now it's doubling as a trellis for it off because I don't need it to get too tall, but it's doubling as a trellis for a scarlet runner bean here. Well, over here in the cherry tree garden, we've got a few things to play with. We've got a couple of zucchinis, oversized zucchinis really, to harvest and get going. And then we've got the one and only cauliflower over here, and I want to also pull out a lot of the rhubarb to give more light and air to the garden here. And that's just a continual process of pulling back the rhubarb because it's just very vigorous, and I can pull it all the way to the ground and it just keeps coming back, which is good, nice. It gives some rhubarb there if we want it, and it isn't easily killed. That's a nice feature. So let's start there. Let's see what I can do to dig out some of this rhubarb and see what we find under here. I think we're gonna find squash vines, pumpkin vines. So a reminder, many of you already know this, or maybe you've heard me say it before, but the leaves on rhubarb are toxic, and so it's only the stems that you would keep if you keep any of it. There's my pumpkin, my famous pumpkin, trying to run it up the tree. Vine's growing, it's vigorous. It's all the way around the side of the trellis there. I'm gonna loop it back this way and then wind it up there. Hopefully I'll give it enough run to produce something. We'll see. There's a pallet. I didn't intend to pull it, but I can save it. Okay, pulled the whole thing out, but I think it'll come back. Well, there's a rhubarb harvest to do something with. And then this vine here is the illustrious pumpkin. I'm gonna push it back a little bit. A little bit of room to breathe and move. Okay. Let me see where that pumpkin's terminating over here. Oh, I found it. It's over here. I'm gonna tie it in over here actually. Oh, it's got a little pumpkin starting to grow on one of the knobs there. How many pumpkins can one vine grow? I've never paid enough attention to that. I felt like in my garden, because I'm always cramming things in and I never have that many vines, that I'm only getting like one pumpkin on a vine. I'm a little bit suspicious of the cauliflower because I see a little wasp hanging out on top of it. And that suggests to me that my guess is that the only thing the wasp would want hanging out on top of it is if it's predatory and looking for other bugs. So then I'm like, well, what other bugs are in this cauliflower? We're about to find out. Ooh. Cauliflower takes up a lot of room, similar to like a cabbage. So there's not a lot of options to grow a lot of them in this garden, but we can say that we grew a cauliflower this summer in the driveway garden. It's not bad. I'd say it's even more than just serviceable. It is boutique. It is craft. It is a craft cauliflower. And I don't see, I was thinking I might see caterpillar or something there because of the wasp that was hanging out on it, but I don't see it. That doesn't mean it's not there on the leaves somewhere, but I didn't. Italian striped zucchini. This variety, I think I got this seed from M.I. Gardener, this one. And I like it because, I mean, I would prefer to get it smaller than this, but what I've liked about this variety is that it's got a chew to it. It's not too mushy. It's kind of meaty. You bite into it at dinner and it feels like you're eating something substantive. Got a couple of ground cherries here that have fallen. Really small though, but let me take a look at them. Let me grab this other zucchini first though. I'm calling it a zucchini, but it's really, this is a variety I got from Botanical Interest called Cuba Butter Yellow Squash. Those are YouTube gardeners. The M.I. Gardener that I referred to as young man over in Michigan. Been on YouTube for a long time, since he was a kid. And then Botanical Interests is a seed company I've bought for a long time, but it was acquired by Kevin over at Epic Gardening. So yeah, a couple of seed companies I happen to pull from are YouTube gardeners as well. Massive YouTube gardeners. Much bigger operations than what I'm doing here. I think that's it over here. That's it for now anyway. Let me show you the ground cherries. Let's see if I can get a little treat for myself here in the garden. If the heat just keeps going consistently. See, this is what I don't like. You can complain about the heat, and yeah, it was real, but what I really don't like is it gets hot and then it's not hot, and then it gets hot and then it's not hot. The plants don't really know what to do, it feels like, you know. Because these ground cherries, they like sustained heat. So that's not ripe yet. And folks will tell you it because if it's green like that, because it has too much of the solanaceae in it. That is technically not good for you or toxic for you, but I like sour, spicy kind of things, and that's what it is. Let's see if these are a little more ripe. Really small. Okay, that's what a ripe one would look like, but on average they would be bigger than this. They would be maybe 2 to 3 times that size. That's even smaller than a marble. Another, and that one is nice and sweet. Same thing. It's like the size of a pea. Nice little treat. Okay. So I got a couple zucchinis there. We've got some more zucchinis hiding out throughout the garden here. Let me take a break and then we'll go finish picking up the zucchinis. Well, like I don't even know how you'll even see the zucchini that I'm picking back there. So I've got these 2 tomato plants here and then the zucchini in a pot behind it. But there's a couple in there, but there's one that's super small and one that's really nice and big and ready to go. I was mentioning YouTubers earlier. There's another YouTube channel I watch called the Veggie Boys, and they're farmers. They're growing veggies out of Pennsylvania for living family, and they reach in there and they just yank. I mean, they're not cutting them like I am, or I don't think they are. I just saw them yanking them off, I think, the other day. I was like, when I try to do that, I feel like I end up losing half the zucchini. All right, well, got a Jimmy Nardello coming along there, but not quite ready. And then over here, hiding behind there is a bunch of Shishitos. So let me reach in there and see what I can pull out. I'll go barehanded on that one. There you go. Probably tired of me showing you Shishitos. I'm always proud to show my handful of Shishitos. The different things that I grow in the garden, this is actually one of the easiest plants. Just grow in an ice cream bucket and it produces. It was one of the earliest things producing in the garden. The earliest when it comes to summer veggies. Summer type veggies. Okay, that's those. I think there is some more zucchini that way. But yeah, I said that I thought there was more zucchini out here, and yeah, there is. Got several stops to make. We got one of each kind actually along this row here to do. This is the more of the Italian striped zucchini here. An interesting shape, isn't it? And then down here further is the classic Black Beauty. Okay, I've got some Black Beauty zucchini in here. You can see the beginnings here of some powdery mildew there. Things that I'll do about that is I'll just take those leaves off. It's not going to stop it really, but it might slow it down a little bit just to keep the that are already getting it from the other leaves to some extent. But that generally just means this plant's, you know, getting bigger and older, and it's still got weeks and weeks left in it though. Even that little bit of powdery mildew doesn't, you know, that's not that big of a deal. There's still a lot of time left to get some. I'll come along and pick that up and later there. But I've got two. There we go. You can get some varieties that say they're resistant. I think this being an old-time variety is probably not as resistant to powdery mildew. There you go. Early on in the season, ask about squash bugs. What do I do about squash bugs? I know that I don't get them, but I'm not seeing anything here. Historically, it's not been a big issue in any gardening that I've done in this climate, in this area. I have heard other people have started getting them here in the Pacific Northwest recently, but squash bugs as kind of a major pest problem tends to be more of a southern thing than something that we see out here a lot of. But I mean, the fact that some of you are asking about them or you've been dealing with them, I know I remember there's at least one commenter that's mentioned that her garden had just been totally devastated by them. So discount the fact that some of you may be dealing with that challenge at scale, but fortunately, don't want to jinx it, because if it's happening to you and you're in my area, it could happen to me anytime now. But fortunately, I just haven't had that kind of issue. It's the powdery mildew. That's the issue that we always get, is after the plant's been in the ground for a while, we'll get powdery mildew. One thing you can do about that, I've really done unintentionally, is at this time of year, a new zucchini would grow pretty quickly. So I think what some people do is they grow it up, they harvest, you know, a bunch right now, and then they terminate that plant because they've got another one coming in behind it, a new fresh plant. That's a strategy. Not something I've done myself, but just something you can consider. Okay, we got one more to do. We've got a yellow summer squash. I have two kinds of summer squash. One was called the Cuba butter. This is a different variety. I got a little rotten one in there I'm gonna get rid of. Yuck. Oh, that's gross. Okay. The way it grew, it doesn't live up to its name, but this is the crook-necked yellow squash. And the way I know that is that the Cuba butter, very uniform shape, and then it's glossy yellow, and this one has kind of more of that, what I'd call a warty yellow, bumpy yellow around the skin is what the crookneck looks like. On average, they will kind of have a curled neck to them as well. But even though this one doesn't have a curled neck to it, it is crookneck. Well, that's it. I had another basket with a bunch of peppers and stuff in it, but some peppers, a couple of little small broccolis, and then had that cauliflower, right? And then we got the square. Oh, and the rhubarb. That's today's haul.